the news isn't that big. But this year's been different. I want to start with, I guess, the Green Line. That came out, a report. We were kind of waiting a long time. It was kind of as people expected. And for people not familiar with it who are watching from outside of Calgary, this is an extension of the light rail transit system, the train system that just keeps getting more expensive and never seems to be getting built. Can you kind of let us know what the status is going on with that, Dan?
So it came to council and we voted on it. And I think the vote was 9-6 to continue with the project. But it's something I've been listening and been interested in since I got elected 3 years ago. You talk to some of the city builders and the smart people in town, like Steve Allen and Jim Gray, who have been, you'll see different articles and op-eds, how they talk about how terrible this is, how this could bankrupt the city, going underground. We always have problems. We could have flooding issues. So I was well aware that we had there was some issues for the scope of the project. Can we do it with the $5.5 billion that we've got from 3 levels of government? And then over the last 3 years, we would get updates from the Green Line board, and they never wanted to make anything public. And they kept a lot of this stuff, even from council, saying, yeah, we're on track, we're on budget, there's been no accidents, until as their deadline came close just a few months ago, then boom, we had to make a decision right now that we're $1.5 billion short. And it's going to be a fraction of the size that we originally wanted it to be. And then we have to go hustle up and see if we go find money from other levels of government, which I have a lot of friends in the provincial government. But as you know, the UCP wasn't willing to throw any more money at what they call the Nenshi nightmare. And the feds didn't either. So what the city now has to do is we've drained our piggy banks from all sorts of different reserves. We're going to increase our borrowing. And again, we're not going to get hardly near the line that we want. So I'm really frustrated and disappointed. I would hope to get a little bit more of a rethink on this, and maybe a little bit of an audit on what more could go over budget, because this is serious implications for the what we can provide for services for the city if we spend all of our money on this.
Well, yeah, and I guess just to play a bit of devil's advocate, there's some people just saying, pull the pin on this. There's no sense throwing good money after bad. But then there's the people who point out the sunk cost case. I mean, there's already been, I believe, $1.5 billion spent on this. The city's downtown's been ripped up for years as I guess they're rearranging underground utilities on it. If they pull the pin on this thing, that would be all for nothing. But at the same time, at the rate we're going, I don't know if there's ever going to be anything. What sort of compromise might be found, though?
Well, there's the old saying my dad told me, don't throw good money after bad. So, yes, we put a lot of money. A lot of that money is put into land acquisition, which, again, we can sell or maintain. That's an asset that isn't just thrown out the window. Moving utility lines, that's an upgraded infrastructure, which, as we've seen with the water pipe, we're probably going to talk about later. Maybe this needed to be done anyways. You mentioned the downtown, and that's the biggest problem I had with it, and many others do as well, is why we focus so much on starting downtown, because that's where all the money goes. That's to the tunneling, and the cost overruns could happen. My suggestion was always to go with a BRT, a bus rapid transit. The whole idea for this Green Line is just to move people around, or mass transit. And where are the people? Down in the deep southeast by the hospital and all the growth with the residents and commercial. So, and we're not even coming close to that right now. We're starting at going from downtown to Ogden, Milliken. It's just a stub of a line. So my compromise would be, Corey, to stop right now. Let's do BRT from Seaton all the way down to, say, City Hall, or at least to the Stampede grounds. Then you can hop on other trains, the Red Line or the Blue Line, or different BRTs that go up Center Street. And we could accomplish probably all of this within budget.